My dad was peeling shrimp for my sister, but he forgot that my other daughter was locked in the storage room, never to wake up again. My father's adopted daughter was only locked in the cramped storage closet for around 15 minutes, yet he punished me by tying me up and throwing me inside. He even sealed off the ventilation with towels. As Wendy's older sister, if you can't take care of her, then you should also experience how scared she was, he declared coldly. He knew I was claustrophobic, but my desperate pleas for mercy, my terror, were met with nothing but heartless reprimands. Let this be a lesson on how to be a good sister. As the last sliver of light disappeared, swallowed by the oppressive darkness, I struggled helplessly. A week passed before my father finally remembered my existence and decided it was time to end my punishment. Let's hope this week served as a good lesson for you, Jennifer. If this happens again, you will no longer be allowed in this house. He would never know that I had already taken my last breath in that suffocating room. My body had begun to rot in the darkness. It was dinner time. Dad glanced at his daughter, who was eating quietly, then frowned as his gaze fell on the empty seat at the end of the table. Does she expect us all to wait for her? His tone sharpened as he continued. Looks like she needs to be punished harder. The butler, pausing mid-motion as he set down the dishes, answered cautiously. Mr. Stiles, Miss Jennifer is still in the storage closet. Would you like me to release her? Dad's hand froze mid-air. His eyes flickered briefly toward the storage closet, a flash of shock crossing his face. He recovered quickly, lifting his wine glass for a sip. For what? Maybe a few more days and there will teach her a lesson better. As she lies, she would bully her siblings again? The butler glanced at the two children seated at the table, their cheeks rosy with health and their eyes bright with anticipation for the meal. Internally, he pitied the eldest daughter who was still locked away. After a brief hesitation, he ventured cautiously. Mr. Stiles' fund, the storage closet has been quite the quiet these past few days. Perhaps you should take a look. Dad put his glass down with a clink and glared at the butler. She's been in there long enough to tire herself out from screaming. Tea, here is food, water, and air conditioning in there. If she still won't admit her faults, then she doesn't deserve to be let out. The butler seemed to have more to say, but Dad cut him off sharply. That's enough. We're eating dinner here. Let's not ruin the mood. He waved dismissively before adding, after dinner you can ask her if she's willing to apologize. If she apologizes to her sister, she can come out and the punishment's over. As if I had already been erased from his mind, Dad turned his attention to his son Ian and adopted daughter Wendy. He reached out, placing a peeled prawn into Wendy's bowl. What's wrong, Wendy? Why aren't you eating? Eat more. He ruffled her hair affectionately. Are you scared? Don't worry. I've already punished Jennifer. She'll never dare bully you again. Wendy looked up, her innocent smile shining. I know you love me the most, Dad. Honestly, as long as she apologizes, I'll forgive her attack, but now that she's being punished, I am worried she'll hate me even more. She wouldn't dare. Dad growled, his anger unmistakable. Then his expression softened as he smiled at her gently. You are my favorite daughter. She wouldn't dare hate you. Ian grinned and chimed in reassuringly. Don't worry, Wendy. I'll protect you. I'll chop her hands off if she ever dares to bully you again. I couldn't suppress a laugh at the irony of Dad's words, but Ian's declaration sent a chill through me. I hadn't expected my brother to make such a horrifying promise, and the cruelty in his eyes told me he wasn't joking. It was bone-chilling. I laughed aloud, but it was a shame no one heard me. I was dead. My spirit had only been able to leave the storage room after I died. Since then, I'd been drifting, watching everything unfold from above. From my bird's eye view, I could see how the storage room door had been sealed. The only ventilation, a small hole, had been blocked with a towel. The storage room had become my coffin. I hadn't been buried alive, but I might as well have been pee.